My experience with Castlevania for the NES. Alright, before I start talking about stages, I want to talk about other things, like how I got interested in Castlevania, did I decide to even start playing it? You know what I mean? Like, why? Why did I start doing this stuff? Well, let me tell you. One day, I actually got done with, I think, something Punch-Out related, actually. And I just decided one day, hey, you know what? I've been playing all this Punch-Out stuff all the time, every day, 7 days a week. Why not? And since I'm going to be done with it, done playing NES Punch-Out, Super Punch-Out, all the games, right? Since I'm going to be done playing that stuff, why not give another franchise a try? Because this is what I tend to do when I'm done with the video game franchise. I'll move on to the next one and give new ones that I've never played before, or new ones I have heard of before but just never played up to that point before, a chance. And I decided to play Castlevania, since it was kind of like in the same vein as Ninja Gaiden. If you guys remember my Ninja Gaiden arc, where I played the older Ninja Gaiden, on the Super Nintendo, the Sega Master System, not the Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo, all they had was the trilogy, but anyways, let's get back to the game, shall we? Let's actually get into the game. Let's talk about the first level, okay? How did I fare? What's your full opinion on my troll account so far? So far, I think it's alright. Though I don't know how far you're going to take the trolling, or how far the trolling could even go. Because a lot of people do it, so I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work out, but anyways, let's talk about level 1, right? There's 18 stages in the game. Now, when I first played the game, I didn't understand a whole lot of what this game was doing, or how to use my special weapons. So, when I was going into this game, I didn't know, for example, let's go back into the footage real quick. This is a video game, Nintendo Completes footage of, by the way, I subbed. Oh, thank you, Dustin. Appreciate you. But anyway, so he whipped this, and I did not understand what this heart meant or what it even does, but I'm thinking it just helps your score tally, because your HP is right here and your enemy's HP is the same amount right underneath. So I was like, okay, on some Ninja Gaiden shit. So what the hell is this heart mean? I don't know what these hearts do, so I just picked it up. And same with this item right here. I didn't know what this was, right? But apparently, I figured it out later on, but that item right there allows your whip, your own whip that you use, because Simon used the whip in this game. So for anyone that doesn't know, Simon Belmont, he is a dude that vanquishes demons from the world. Or, yeah, demons, vampires, all that stuff. That's what he does. He vanquishes all the evils in the world. With holy water, his whips, and his other weapons, he gets scattered across the land, right? But those little red icons that you guys just saw, those allow your whip to increase, because your whip actually starts out from when I remember me playing. Let me find my belt. I'm going to use my belt as an actual example, as my actual whip, but I don't know if I can find it. Fuck it, I'll try to find a substitute, this string. Fuck it, we'll use this string. USA sucks. Okay, that's cool. Alright. I mean, I don't think it's one of the greatest either, but anyway, so your whip starts out as a little baby thing. Little baby thing. But the more you grab that red item, right there, right there, Alan, really? Right here, once you grab more of that, your whip will increase in size and range. So, the more you try to hit an item with it, right, the more range it's going to have, which is actually really cool. I didn't think too much of this when I was playing, but while I was playing in the later stages, like level 7, 8, 9, 10, later half of the stages, having this long ass whip with me at all times is actually really good. It's much better than the short whip because it allows me to reach enemies that I would not have otherwise had if I didn't have the range of my whip weapon that I got right there. Sorry for going so in depth with the whips and the items, it's just like just in case you've never played before, you know what I mean? So, anyways. So going through level 1 here, was quite interesting. Hey, you see your whip's getting longer. See that? And again, with your special weapons, that's where your special weapon shit is. I was sitting there I remember in Ninja Gaiden, it was actually easier to use your special weapon. Or I think it was the same control, actually. Use your special weapon. And I actually got one of those special weapons, but I was so confused on how it works. Because I was like, wait a minute, how do you use this? Apparently, you use up, D-pad, and attack. And by the way, that item right there is a little clock, which allows you to stop all enemies in the vicinity, which is actually really fucking cool. Really cool, by the way. Love that stuff. But anyways, so when I was trying to use my item against, not that cat, but a later boss, which it's kind of like, it's like more of a mini boss. It's confusing how you would put it. But anyway, so there's a lot of these cat enemies and stuff that you have to deal with, which are, I don't know, I think they're demon cats or something. It's weird, complicated. I never really encountered those too much. But anyways, so coming up pretty soon. Whoa, what the fuck happened? Okay, but anyways, so I guess you collected a good amount, so you got some health or something, or extra time. What the fuck are those crosses? See, even I'm getting a little confused at a lot of this stuff. But anyway, oh my god, those bad enemies. See, I remember in Ninja Gaiden, a lot of enemies would F you up. And this was because since this game immediately reminded me of Ninja Gaiden, I thought that this game was going to be balls to the walls, Omega hard right out the gate because of enemy placement. And it is. In later stages, it gets sort of like Ninja Gaiden, but in the very beginning, it's actually pretty tame. Literally just watch out and don't get hit by the enemies in their said places, and you'll be fine going through level 1, to be honest with you. You'll be, literally straight up fine. And, level 2 is practically the same as, well, not the same as level 3, but it's a little bit, it's a little bit, easier and stuff like that. I'll show you. Hold on, let me go back to level 2. Because level 2 has this stuff with jumping dudes and everything. And I remember, all of this confused the hell out of me when I was playing. Because there's multiple branching paths and everything. And it's why are you going through multiple different branching paths and everything? What is this? Since this is a Metrovania and there's multiple different paths you can walk through and go through and stuff. Anyways, let me skip this. You pretty much know most of this level. But this is what I was talking about in level 3. Our first boss fight. Now, I was so confused on how you even damage the damn thing. Because my thought process was, okay, let's jump up and hit it, right? But since your jump is kind of slow, and when you hit with your long-ass whip, it will damage it, but it will damage it by one or two hit points, right? It's not going to damage all the way through. And on my playthrough, I had the clock. I didn't have the axe. I didn't have the little sword thing you can throw out in front of you and stuff like that, or holy water, or all that other sort of stuff. All I had was the time stopper. So basically, I had the clock, I used the time stop because, again, right here on stage number 3, I was thinking about how in the actual hell am I gonna beat this thing if all I have is a stop timer with only 5, 10-ish seconds on it. how many hits am I gonna get out of this? And also, a lot of bosses, kind of like Ninja Gaiden and Mega Man, can be cheesed with holy water and such, which is actually kind of interesting because I didn't actually have holy water throughout most of my playthrough when I was playing Castlevania. All I had was, like, the time stopper and, like, little weapons here and there and stuff. You see what I mean? You can just chuck that axe, and it's gonna chug the H points of that bat. But that bat, for me, that took me a while. That bat right there took me a minute to beat. It's not as easy, right? But if you, like I said, too, this also can apply to, like, Ninja Gaiden if you're playing it. If you have the right weapons and stuff, like, the right weapons, you can cheese these enemies. You can cheese these bosses, right? Not every single boss can be cheesed, but most of these bosses in, like, you know, Castlevania can be cheesed with the right weapon, the right placing, and the right timing so you can stagger them, etc., etc. But anyways, let's go on to, like, level 4 and such. Let's talk about level 4. Level 4 is actually quite interesting. The level design completely changes up here in level 4. And the cross is great, too, by the way, which allows you to throw, And I never saw the crown item before. There's a lot of items I still haven't found because I did a very casual playthrough on this. Which that cross allows, you can only throw one cross at a time. And the cross, what it does is you can throw it. And it allows you to obviously collect multiple items, so it's good for that. But against enemies, it's also pretty good as well. But you also have your whip, so, like, range just in case and stuff. You're not feeling yourself. It's like, it's gonna be alright, pretty much. Dude, the music actually kind of got me intrigued. But it's not as crazy. Oh, I fucking hate those little shits. Those little shits got me killed multiple times. Why? Just mainly due, again, having a shitty weapon or a special weapon at the time. You know, such and such. And you gotta collect a lot of money. But anyways, let's move on. So the stage can go on. See, 5 is fine, 4, 5. And also, I noticed a lot in this game. By the way, that enemy's a dickhead. In this game as well, when you progress through the game, you don't just do one stage after the other, after the other, after the other. What you do is, you end up, for example, walking through the castle, and then, like, your number of stage will just change, right? It will go from 5 to 6 to 7 to 8. So, and only when you encounter a boss, the game's like and then you go to the next stage and stuff. That's the only time it will do that. Other than that, you'll just go through stages throughout the castle just like that. You know what I mean? So, that's how that works in this game. Hated these things, but you can hit the fireballs with your whip as well. So, by the way, there's a lot of flashing. And I remember when I saw this part in level 6, I sat there and was like, oh no, the Mega Man stompers and shit. Oh gosh. Because this may look easy, but it was actually kind of hard for me to navigate through those little, those big old spike thingies. Such and such. Here we go. I'm sorry, I just love the music and stuff. But anyways, here's another boss throughout stage 6, which again, if you spam your whip, this will actually happen, you'll see. I had to rewind the footage because the boss died so quickly, like I said, due to him knowing what the fuck to do. So you can't leave, you're wondering what the fuck. And again, if you use the clock, you can do that to that boss right there and collect that and then move on to stage 7. Now, stage 7... Oh, holy water is phenomenal, by the way. You need to get that. I remember when I made it to stage 7 in Castlevania. By the way, those skeleton fuckers are also kind of annoying. I made it to stage 7 and I started really liking the music here. Because I'm very much into 8-bit. I almost lost, well no, that's a stretch to say I almost lost interest in like other bands, but and kind of just prefer what people put out, video game music and stuff. That's just what I really prefer these days. And I know, this to a lot of people is just like, Alan, you're just listening to bleep bloops. What is so interesting about these freaking bleep bloops? They're interesting because it's like, look, it's where video game music begun, okay? Without these bleep bloops, we wouldn't have such, you know, even more banger music on, like, later consoles, okay? Gotta respect them bleep bloops. But yeah, also Stage 8 also has this as well. And Holy Water may not have that much range, but let me tell you something. Once it splashes on the opponent, holy shit, it will stun them or kill them right out the gate. Excuse me, I still got a serious cough from from my fucking valley fever. I don't know why, but like it's like it progressively gets worse when I came back to doing YouTube and such. It's like it's just coming back full force. You're gonna do YouTube full force, motherfucker? Because that's how it kind of feels like sometimes. And also Stage 9 does the same thing. But then you run into these mummy-looking things. And they're not the... Oh, they actually are the boss. Shit. Of Stage 9, which... Again, holy water these motherfuckers. Keep them in the same spot so you don't, like, lose them or something. And I feel like you'll be, like, straight up fine, to be honest. Look at that. Again, it's all about that timing. And their health bar is just dropping, dude. You don't even need to get hit. But again, it's like you can easily go ahead and just freaking murk the frick out of this. But anyways, let's go to 10. 10? Stage 10? This one?
This guy was driving.
Stage 10 was tough, mainly due to, like, a lot of moving around on the platforms. But anyways, let's not talk about every single stage in the game. I want to talk about what I do like and what I don't like. So, obviously, Simon's jump is going to be tough to get used to since it is a little bit more stagnant. Like, his jump, it's a okay jump. But it takes a little bit for Simon to jump, and it's like you're sitting there kind of like, okay, dude, just, you have the range to jump, but it's not the best range, or it's not quick like it was, you know, like it's Mario or something. You know what I mean? Which I kind of noticed, even video games back in the day, before Mario or after Mario, they don't have as good as jump as him, which obviously Mario's whole thing is jumping, so of course his jump is going to be better, but I'm talking about like control wise too. Simon does in this game, obviously since it's NES, it's the first Castlevania game, of course Simon is going to feel clunky to a lot of people, myself included. He did feel kind of clunky to move around with, and I usually don't talk about NES characters moving clunky because I think it's a useless point to make when you're making a freaking review on a game that came out in the 80s when people were still just getting into the video game space and like making characters move more fluidly. You know what I mean? It's just like, obviously, no shit, they're gonna be clunky. You know what I mean? That's why I don't like to bring it up too much, and that's why I hear a lot of people in their reviews of not Castlevania, but a lot of other people's reviews on these retro games. They always talk about clunky control, like, oh, this is clunky. And it's like, no shit, it's clunky. You're used to playing modern day games where the controls are automatically a million times more fluid. You know what I mean? Where you don't even have to think about if the controls are going to be clunky or not. You know what I mean? You immediately you immediately got, you know what? Look, I'm not trying to sound like a freaking broken record, okay? But anyways, let's move on, right? We know all the stages and the bosses get crazier and crazier as they move on. You know, even here in stage 12 against Frankenstein, it was a little crazy. But again, I had holy water here too, so I think I spammed this to just murk him really quickly, just to be straight up, I think. Trying to show you guys. Oh, but this boss right here in stage 15, I know I'm skipping a lot because I don't want this video to be too long and dragging points out and stuff. But, Death? Whoops. Let me show you this. This guy, Death? Because obviously, or the Grim Reaper. The Death, Grim Reaper, same dude. Yada, yada, yada. This dude, he kicked my ass so many times. He bodied me, right, with his multiple scythe technique. But again, if you can lock him right there, that side, or down here with holy water and whip, you could easily beat this dude, no freaking problem. But for me, I suck at the game. This was my very first time on it. I struggled with the Grim Reaper / Death. I struggled on him like no freaking tomorrow, dude. It was really bad that I struggled on him for as long as I did. But anyway, so we have 17 and 8. 17 was okay, but 18 is what I truly want to talk about and probably nearly end this review. But anyways, here we go. The man himself, Dracula. Which, his warping is absolutely random, by the way. He's not gonna spawn in the same spots to make a pattern or so. You legit just have to continuously walk around, make sure you do not get hit by Dracula. And this is first phase Dracula with him in the cape and stuff. You know what I mean? Where he vanishes and shoots fireballs. And let me tell you, this phase was tough because not only you have to figure out where he's going to spawn and make sure you don't get hit while dealing with the fire. And yes, you can use your whip to negate the fire. So like his thread is completely just bitched a little bit. But you do have to manually go like this the whole fight right here. And by the way, if you die on any of these bosses, what's up, Alan? Back. Welcome, Dominic Gay. Welcome to stream. But if you die on Dracula, which I did multiple times, you have to go back all the way back and start back at the beginning of the boss. So, and you'll see why this bothered me here in a second. And obviously, this is back on NES, so this is before they had any sort of checkpoint system for these type of bosses or anything, which makes Dracula that much harder to beat. But then you're sitting there like, wait a minute. What is this thing? This is Dracula's monster form, right? And you're wondering, wait a minute, what the fuck? Hold on a second. What is this? And you're wondering, okay, how do I deal with this? Holy water, you splash it on his leg so you can stop him and then hit him in the head. If you don't have this, you're going to have to back up a lot, hit Dracula in the head right here, because that's his only weak point. You can't hit his body. And he's going to be jumping around and shooting fire, kind of like his first phase, but he's also going to be doing small jumps forward and large jump forwards. What you want to do is, if you are in a corner or something, wait till he does a large jump, which is at random. The large jump, you're going to have to try and navigate Simon underneath him while he's doing the large jump. Because if you try doing it on the short hop, you're immediately going to take damage. And also, you don't recover any of your HP. So, if you don't have good HP, you better hope you have holy water and know how to spam it right. Just to kind of beat this dude, no effing problem. Right? So, that's interesting. And then that's it, right, of your original experience. Just wanted to stop by, so see you, Alan. Alright, see you later, Dominic A. Thank you so much for stopping by as long as you did. And you're wondering, okay, there's 18 stages in the game, that's it, game over, right? I'm peaking. This is the peakest game on the planet. We did it. We beat all of Castlevania. They even give you this shit. Look at that. Dracula's castle's falling down. Produced by Konami, directed by... I can't read this. The text is kind of weird, so I can barely read that. Some names I can read better than others, but just most of these names you can't read. And they give you the cast. And it's like, that's the end of your journey of Castlevania. But tell me, why is it an hour? Because he played the game longer than once. But if you're only here playing it once, the game is like a good 20 minutes if you know exactly what you're doing on the game. But it can be extended to like an hour, 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, depending on how good or bad you are at playing the game. Burger Bob, again, how are you doing? But anyways, that is Castlevania for me, anyway. Because I didn't play... Because after the credits, what happens is they'll say like stage 20... And then, like, you know, it'll, like, keep going through all the stages again. But the enemy placement is harder. The bosses hit harder. And it's just, like, a second quest. You know, like, overall, you know, it's just a harder adventure. That's all the later half of Castlevania NES is. For anyone that wants to play it past your initial playthrough and stuff. That's it. There's no difference. There's no secret boss or anything. At least I don't think so. Because I didn't really do too much research. I just played the game for myself and just, you know, went... Well, I did do some research. Obviously, I do research on every game I decide to get into and stuff. But anyways, what do I think of Castlevania after playing it and stuff like that? I enjoyed this experience because it is the very first time I actually played a Castlevania game in my life, you know what I mean? I didn't have any prior experience to Castlevania before this, other than, like, knowing Simon and Richter in Super Smash Brothers, right? That's, like, the only thing I knew. And then Dracula obviously being a popular character and stuff, and it's like, you know, the Smash trailer for Simon and Smash Brothers. Obviously, that's how I know Simon is, obviously through Smash Brothers and how they show off the character and his moveset and stuff like that, right? I actually might consider playing Simon and Richter in Smash because of that, because of me playing Castlevania 1, but we gotta get through the other Castlevania games first before we start, you know, just playing them in Smash. Anyways, Rehab Devers, yes, I remember you. But anyways, so yeah, like I said, I enjoy this experience, but I think for anyone that enjoys retro games, I feel like you can enjoy this game, but like, you got to give it time to kind of warm up to you, because I think this game has a pretty good presentation, you know, like the way all the sprites look, you know, they look pretty good to all right and stuff. But I feel like, you know, the music in comparison to like stuff like Legends of Zelda, you know what I mean, or Super Mario Brothers or Mega Man 2, which are pretty unfair comparisons, but it's like the music in comparison to those games is pretty dim and kind of toned down. I mean, even just Mario Bros. 1 music has, like, you know, like, more iconic music than, like, at least Castlevania 1, in my opinion, anyway. I mean, at least, like, you know, the main theme, I think, for the game is pretty iconic. But anyways, I mean, the music does fit the atmosphere, though. Like, the creepy atmosphere going through castles and, you know, outside of castles and everything. But anyways, again, the game is great. I did emulate this game because I just didn't have enough money. I know, like, the Castlevania collections on PlayStation or Nintendo Switch are like $20-$30, but I don't have $20-$30 on me to go play Castlevania. But I do recommend you give Castlevania a try through, like, you know, the recommended versions by getting the Capcom collections of Castlevania, or not Capcom, Konami's collections of Castlevania and stuff. If you can get those collections and shit all on PlayStation, I'm not sure if they're all on Switch, but I know they're all on PlayStation 5/PlayStation 4, and you can go play them now, so I definitely recommend that. But if you have literally no other options, then I would probably suggest emulation. I just can't tell you where you gotta download it and shit, you know, or like, hey, you download it here or there. I can't really do that because that's kind of illegal. You know, you have to figure all that emulation stuff out yourself. Cassandra Thompson, hi. Welcome to the channel. I talk about old games and make little live reviews about them and such. I subscribe. Thank you. I appreciate you guys subscribing and stuff. Do you like Mario Kart? Yes, I love Mario Kart. I have Mario Kart 8. I have played Mario Kart Wii. I used to own it. I don't know if I want to own it again. That is a difficult question. But yeah, I played Mario Kart Wii. I played Mario Kart 64. Love Mario Kart 64. I played, Mario Kart for the Game Boy Advance. I love the Mario Kart franchise. It's a great franchise right there. Mario Kart is phenomenal. Great game franchise right there. Same with Mario Party. Great franchise as well, which I should probably make some of my experience on the older Mario Parties. I would have to replay them again, though, like Mario Party 1, Mario Party 2, Mario Party 3, just to get the kind of a gist of how Mario Party is and such, so on and so forth. But anyways, again, if you guys did enjoy this, like, sort of mini my experience / game review on I almost said Dracula, on Castlevania for the NES, let me know down below what your experience with this game is. Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? Did you want to give it a try because of this video? Let me know down below in the comments, and I hope you guys all have a great day. I wanted to make this because today has just been kind of slow and boring, because why not? I love talking about video games, old and new, so it's like, you know what? Today feels like the day I want to talk about Castlevania. Just get another video out there, out of the way, you know? Why not? Thank you. You too. Hey. But anyways, hope you guys all have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I think I'm going to do another my experience on another old game. Probably Ghosts and Goblins or something like that. Or another game. Maybe like the Bald Bull, Bald Bull's Punch-Out! My experience. I might as well just get that one out of the way, where we just talk about Bald Bull for like 30 minutes to an hour. God, I can't believe I actually did Bald Bull's Punch-Out! Why did I do that? I mean, at least it was funner than the Mike Tyson one. You know what I mean? But anyways. Bye. I hope your day goes well. I hope your day goes well too. But anyways, I'm gonna do this cool little outro. I don't know why, but honestly, I think one of my favorite bits of this game is the very beginning. But anyways, let's yeah.